When the rush of life feels louder than our vows, and weeds of worry try to take the ground, you, Lord, teach our hearts to slow, to tend, not tear, to speak with gentle truth and listen in repair. When storms roll in and nights run long, we're rooted in your faithful love, still strong. Plant the seed, tend the soil, let the Spirit be the rain. In the beautiful marriage garden, you are mending every pain. With a cord of three unbroken, we will stand and sing. Love grows wild and holy in the shelter of the King. For the single heart that's learned how to wait for the bride and groom with calendars and fate. For the decades deep who water vows with grace. No seasons ever wasted in your cultivated place. Judge us tools to heal, to reconcile and forgive, to guard our words with wisdom and choose peace is how we live. Plant the seed, tend the soil, let the Spirit be the rain. In the beautiful marriage garden, you are mending every pain. With a cord of three unbroken, we will stand and sing. Love grows wild and holy in the shelter of the King. We'll prune our pride, lift truth to life, and pray through every night. We'll learn to fight for us, not me, and keep our hearts contrite. Speak life, listen slow, let your word be where we go. Unity with purpose, hand in hand we grow. Plant the seed, tend the soil, Spirit be our rain. Make our covenant a mirror of your kindness once again. With a cord of three unbroken, we belong to you. Beautiful marriage garden, blossoming in truth. Let it grow in your love, we bloom again.
Hello everyone, it's another Saturday. Welcome to the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast. My name is Mary. If today is your first time of joining us, you are so welcome. This is the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast where we talk about love, faith, and relationship, marriage, singlehood, and everything in between. This is a Christian podcast, but the advice we give is very universal, is generic, backed by the word of God. So if you have just plugged in on Facebook, on YouTube, this is my advice for you. Share the video, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Give us a like and share it to someone who might want to listen or who will find this relevant. And just to let you know, we have a special episode today. The love languages is a theory which was developed by Gary Chapman. So if you've not read the book, The Five Love Languages, today we'll give you a, a detailed exposure into the book and will help you understand the love languages as it pertains in relationship. This is very applicable for anyone single, dating, married, in between. So please do not be a miss out. I really look forward to having an exciting interaction with you. Myself, Michael, who is always here with us to give us wonderful insight and ideas. So please sit down and somebody will say chillax. Chill and relax as we bring to you exciting information today from the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast. And by way of just letting our new people who will be watching this video for the first time know, we have a playlist on our YouTube channel known as the Beautiful Marriage Podcast. So you can watch all the previous videos we've made. So I have actually lost count of the number of videos we've made, but you are very much welcomed. And just to let you know, each video is prepared with you in mind. The information is solid, detailed, and if you watch and you apply it, I believe strongly that God will change the story of your love, your relationship, and everything in between. So we'll get going right now. Are you ready for today? Hello, Michael.
Awesome,
Welcome.
awesome. I don't know what the technical glitch was. Hello, Mary. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Awesome. That's a great way of responding to the question. How are you?
Of course. And I hope you are excited for what do you have for today.
I am really excited, especially because you are speaking today to us on
Ah.
the five love languages.
Oh, yes, I'm excited too. This is a revolutionary book. I think the first time I actually heard of this book was you, Michael,
Hmm.
recommending it for us to read it before we got married. Prior to that, I'm not sure if anyone had mentioned the book to me, but it made a lot of difference. So today we look forward to this book making a difference in your life as well. So if you are joining us here, you are joining us from the chat. Let's feel you. Let us know that you are joining this conversation, and we are trusting God that it will be an exciting time together.
Yeah.
Okay, so since I have the platform today, and without wasting my time, I will hit the ground running.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay. So Michael, um, let's get going.
Okay, let's do this. Now, just while you prepare to share your screen, I want to say to our viewers that these are not difficult things, but they are massive. They are things that can bring a lot of differences. The first time I heard of this book, I think I had heard from it from one of my dear friends called Lord. And when we started reading it together, we found that okay, these are things that applies to us all, but for some reason we are not really paying attention to it and using it to
Mm.
our advantage. So while we share this, please take note of these things and more importantly, begin to think about how can I apply this as a married person, as a single who is aiming at getting into marriage or somebody who is dating at the moment. So I'm really, really looking forward for this. So Mary, let's get going once you're ready.
Yeah, it's exciting. I have somebody greeting me good afternoon. Richard is connecting with us. I know Richard from Ghana if he's still in Ghana. Yes. So we have different people who join us from different time zones. For some it is morning in our time. For some it is afternoon. And for those who join us from Norway, it is even late afternoon or evening. So, Michael, I will hit the ground running. Are you ready?
We are ready. We are really, really ready.
Okay,
Let's go.
perfect. Okay, so the book, The Five Love Languages, if you've not read before, as I mentioned, it's an exciting book written by the marriage counselor known as Gary Chapman. So, Gary had worked with a couple of people who have had issues in their marriage relationship. And after analyzing all these issues together, he brought up this classic book. As of today, this book has sold of over 20 million copies. So it lets you know how transformational this book has been in the marriages and the relationships of people. So today we are going to glean knowledge, nuggets, wisdom from this book in our podcast just to help you also have a love relationship that blossom like a well-tended garden. So there is this very huge outcry that why do so many couples feel unloved even though love is present? So, Michael, it's possible that people are in relationships, marriages that others from the outside are actually envying. Wow, I want to have a marriage like yours. They see the luxury, they see the love, they see the things they will wish to have that these other couples seem to have effortlessly. But if you should do a surgical analysis of this marriage that another person is envying, you realize that it's possible that one person feels unloved.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
you want to find out why. Why do you feel unloved? She's a best cook. She dresses well, she's beautiful, she's presentable. And from the woman's perspective, you might want to think that why do you feel unloved? Your husband is hardworking, rich, loving. I see him lavish with you with a lot of money and gifts. So why do you still feel unloved? Now, you might want to also put in the chat, if you are joining us from Facebook or Instagram, why do you feel unloved? What makes you feel loved? You might want to put in the chat what makes you feel loved. It will help us to understand this conversation better. So Gary came to the realization that there is what we call a love tank. And the reason that many couples are struggling to experience and feel love is the fact that they might be receiving the wrong kind of love in their love tank. So you might be expressing one love in one way to your partner, and your partner might have a different reception towards the love. So let me explain. Maybe if you go out and you see something beautiful, you always get it for your partner. You are the flower man, you are the gift man, you are the pizza man, you are the Domino's man, you are the restaurant man. And no matter what you get to this your partner, whether you are married or dating, they don't seem to be happy. You realize that deep within them there's this sense of unsatisfaction. I meet women who are in relationships that are thriving from the outlook, but they tell you, I don't think he's the man I want to marry. He doesn't seem to understand what I want. And there are men who are around beautiful women, but they move around them, they end the relationship and go for other women because they feel like this woman doesn't have the same energy as I have. And this is because there is a tank. Everybody's love tank needs to be filled, and it's possible that you are expressing love to that person in a different language, and these different languages is what Gary Chapman named as the 5 love languages. So if you are online, if you are joining us, do you sometimes feel like your love isn't being received? Do you sometimes feel like you can post in the chat, whether you post on Facebook or YouTube, we'll be able to read? Do you sometimes experience love that feels like you are not being received? So we'll go on. As your comments comes, we will just read them. Now, Gary identified the 5 love languages. So many of us speak more than one language. Maybe you speak English as your native language if you were brought up in North America, maybe Canada, US, or you are in Europe and you grew up in UK, you might speak English. Some speak German, Spanish, Norsk, some speak Portuguese, some speak Farsi, some speak Hindu, different languages. All these are languages we speak and we express ourselves in. For example, I have not been to the Middle East before. I don't speak Farsi. If I meet somebody and the person speaks only Farsi and they want to express themselves to me in Farsi, obviously I wouldn't understand. We would need an interpreter. So the 5 love languages also refer to the different categories of love that fills each person's love tank. And before we go on, it's possible for a person to speak or to identify with one of these more than one of these love languages. Gary Chapman calls that as like a bilingual person. You say bilingual person, I speak English and French, I'm bilingual. A person who speaks more than one love language is also considered a bilingual person, because and it's possible that they will have a dominant language, that is the kind of love language that arouses them more than the other. It's also possible that they will be equal bilinguals, that each of the two satisfies them equally. So now let's go to the love languages. We are hoping that we will finish this episode today. We will not drag it for a very long time. And Michael, if you have anything to add, please feel free to interject. Feel free to come in.
Sure. I'm just going to chime in by saying the word language is as you're using it, it just dawned on me that it's actually a language. Just as you would think of English, Spanish, and so on. If I don't speak Spanish and you are speaking to me in Spanish, you're being very nice, polite, corazon. You're expressing very good stuff to me in Spanish, but I just don't get it. And
Because you don't speak Spanish.
so that miscommunication can be going on. Or even if I understood a little Spanish and you're speaking real deep Spanish, then I wouldn't appreciate whatever you're communicating unless you spoke it in a language that I can fully grasp. So that's something that just came to mind.
Yeah, that's a very good analogy. And I am a linguist. I work with languages, and trust me, when you tell people that you are a linguist, how many languages do you speak? You only speak the languages you have been exposed to. It could be your native language, it could be a second language you've learned, and all that. And it works the same way in marriage or in relationships, whether you are dating, courting, or even you are single. It is important that you actually know which love language you speak. This will help you to communicate it very well in the early stages of your marriage so you don't feel unloved. You don't feel like your love tank is empty. If your love tank is empty, it comes with a lot of negative sides. You might feel like you are not being loved enough. You might feel like, oh, this thing is not working.
Mm.
Meanwhile, it's possible that you are in a relationship where one is speaking English and the other is speaking French, and none of you understand each other's language. That is why it's very important and necessary. You see, there is no spiritual answer to a love language misunderstood rather than first understanding their language, and then everything else count. Then you can add the spiritual side. But if you keep praying, maybe by prayer God will bring out somebody or a video like this on your stream for you to watch to understand. Other than that, you need to sit down with a counselor. You need to sit down, learn each other's language. So there are 5 love languages. If time permits, we'll go through all of these 5 today. And as I said, if you are joining us from Facebook or YouTube, don't hesitate to join the conversation. Put your questions, comments in the chat, and we'll respond to it in the course of this podcast. So, Gary identified 5 love languages. The first one is the words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. The second one is quality time. Quality time. The third one is receiving gifts. Receiving gifts. The fourth one is acts of service. Acts of service. And the fifth one is physical touch. So on summary, while I mentioned this, I know you are beginning to think. We'll go into each in detail, but you're beginning to think. So which of these do I fall in? Okay, follow along. Someone will say tag along with us as we try to explain each love language. I hope that one way or the other you get to find the answer to your own love language. Now, as exciting as this conversation is, somebody's missing out. Share this on your status, your Facebook, invite people, friends, and loved ones to join this conversation because this will help them to have relationships that are built on formidable basis. They understand each other. Okay, so we'll first start with words of affirmation. So the first love language I will try to explain, of course, Michael will also bring his input, is words of affirmation. That is using words that build up, words that encourage, and words that appreciate. Does this speak anything? That this ring a bell? That this bring your attention to something that you really like? Words of affirmation, that is expressing love. It could be through spoken, written words. And this include compliments, encouragement, appreciation. So simple phrases like, I am proud of you, I appreciate what you did, can actually mean the world to someone. This is very, very critical. There are women, they feel unloved because they are not receiving words of affirmation. They might be stay home moms, taking care of the house, taking care of the children, cooking, cleaning, doing everything. And the only words they hear are words of criticisms like, I I worked all night, I worked all day, and the husband comes in, the house is dirty. The woman, you will think you are giving them everything, but they still feel unloved because you are not giving them words of affirmation. You are not appreciating them enough. And even if you buy a flower for this woman, it doesn't mean as much as speaking it, writing it. I have a comment here from our brother Benedict, who is saying that the spiritual should listen. It's not everything that is spiritual. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes we spiritualize things so much. So words of affirmation is very, very important. You affirm to them that you actually appreciate them. And for most people, the other side of this love language is the fact that it's possible that when this person was young, their tank, their love tank was denied of words of affirmation. So as a child, all that they could hear were criticism. You are an ugly child, you are blockheaded, you don't do anything good, you are bad. And because of that, it naturally drains their tank. They are they are very conscious of the fact that everything they do is met with criticism. Thanks for joining, Auntie Irene. And as they grow, that is the tank that needs attention. They could be single, but they are unhappy because they think that people are not appreciating them before. There are women, when they dress, they want you to ask, do I look good? Because sometimes as children, they were told they were not looking good. Their dresses don't fit. They grew up in a very um discombobulated home where parents were always using words of negativity on them. And this person grows up, and as a matured person, all that they are looking for is words of affirmation. And that is why it's not surprising that, especially those of us coming from the African culture, people said, look at this woman, beautiful, having all the vital statistics, and she's dating somebody that they consider not fit for them. It's possible that that person is actually speaking to them a language they understand. It's possible that that person is affirming to them something they didn't hear as a child. And as such, if you marry such a person, even if you buy a Rolls Royce for them, without giving them compliments and appreciation, they don't feel loved. It's this simple. Of course, maybe not simple. They don't feel loved. You might have all the sexual gimmicks, giving them all the things that you think a woman wants, but they are missing one thing, and that is words of affirmation. You might be single right now, but you feel that every man, every woman that have ever come your way doesn't deserve you because this is your love language and they are speaking a different language which you don't align with, you don't understand. So you feel low, you feel lonely, you feel like I'm not being loved enough. If this is your love language, understanding this help you to communicate it in such an intentional manner with your partner so that they know how well to love you in a language you understand. And of course, um, if you are speaking your love language is words of affirmation, you have to understand that there are people who might be making demands on you. They might be making, and you will feel like you are always demanding me to do this. If your partner's love language is words of affirmation, you make requests. honey, can you please help me with this? They'll say, pick it up for me. No, no, make requests. And when they do it, you just say, thank you. I appreciate you for doing this. There are people that the most difficult word for them to use is thank you. The most difficult word for them to use is to appreciate people. And to be frank, there are people that they are always asking because their love language, another love language, maybe receiving it. They're always asking. Maybe they are dealing with a person whose love language is words of affirmation. And as soon as they receive what they are asking for, they just say thanks, thanks. You end up driving such people from your life because you are not affirming enough that you appreciate what they've done. You can actually miss important people God brings your way if you use the wrong language on them. Okay, Michael, I want to move to the next one.
Yes, please do. This is spot on. This is really, really spot on. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now moving from words of affirmation, I move on to quality time. This is the one love language that personally I feel that people usually misunderstood it. No, we are talking about quality time, undivided attention. For such a person, undivided attention is equated to love. It's not like sit with me in the couch, let's watch TV. No, they don't want to watch TV with you, they want you. So when you call them on phone, if you are dating and you call them on phone and they feel like you are distracted, they ask you, are you busy? Are you doing something? Are you chatting? Okay, then you finish with what you are doing and call back, get back to me. They understand quality time as the way you express your love to them. So this one, you need to give them undivided attention. You attend to them as babies who are likely to fall down if unattended. And of course, it's not like they are clinging up to you or anything like that. They need your attention. And the two dialects or the so all the other love languages seem to have some sub dialect things you can work around. For this one, the two sub dialect I want to talk about is quality conversation and activities. Quality conversations. Have you realized that there are people when you are dating them or married to them, they want to tell you about their day. And if you seem not to be interested in listening to them, they are not happy with you. They are like, no, I want you to know, I want you to listen. Because that's how they feel love. Giving them a listening ear makes them feel love. They might be talking to you about things that do not matter to you, especially if he's a guy. Manchester lost a match. You are not a football woman, and he wants you to listen. You might not do much for them. All that you need to do is to engage them. Oh wow, I'm sorry for oh that might be difficult for you. Okay, you don't need to be you've lost don't like. They need quality conversation because that is what makes them feel love. And they also want to do activities with you together. If they are in the kitchen, they want you to be by their side. If you are cooking, they want you to just spend time with them. Undivided attention. And unfortunately, we live in the 21st century where everybody is selling a profile. We have Facebook profiles, we have TikTok profiles, we have Instagram profiles, we have YouTube profiles, we have Thread profiles. Recently, I heard there is another one called Blue Skies. We have Blue Sky profiles, we have X profiles, and all the is it Telegram and all those ones that I don't know. So you might want, but I'm spending time with you. You are not. You are holding your phone chatting, you are holding your phone, scrolling. They don't want you to do that. They want to be the center of attraction. Don't say this is hard. It is not. If you want to have a love relationship that blossom, Learn to spend quality time. And the key word is quality time. People spend time, but it's not quality. They spend time doing many things. It's not quality. You came to visit her, you passed by a house. Since you entered, you've been on phone talking to person A, B, C, D. You spend 45 minutes on phone. You spend 5 minutes looking around. You spend 10 minutes eating the food you were given, and you left and you said you spent time with them. In their dictionary, you didn't even spend 1 minute with them, and that is the truth. People who want quality time want to go for walks together without distraction. And possibly, if you are walking with them, they don't want you to walk ahead of them. They don't want to be running after you, especially the guys. They have, if you are a cute, I'm very cute. If you are cute like me, married to an extra long, I'm using extra long, or a tall husband like Michael, they have, their legs are long. When you are walking with them, they seem to be always be ahead. For a person who desires quality time, that is not love. They want you to tag along with them. If possible, hold their hands. They want to feel that you are dedicating time to them. Maybe you are watching from YouTube, you are watching from Facebook, and you feel like this is what I wanted. This is what person ABC wasn't giving to me, and that is why I felt they didn't love me. Prayer. Your love language is quality time. And now you might want to ask yourself, when was the last time you actually gave somebody your full attention? When was the last time? I sit in the buses and you see family members seated together, but people are watching their phones. It's as if you don't exist. In fact, for those who speak quality time as a love language, when you are with them and you are looking on your phone, it is not a demonstration of love at all. If you want to show them love, be be intentional. Be intentional. It's love without distraction. You come back from work and you're already on phone and say hello, 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 and you go. You talk, 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 talk. You come. Dinner time, you are checking your emails, you are checking your chat. You go. In the evening before you go to bed, you seem to be so busy doing so many things and you jump to bed. Then in the middle of the night, for those who are married, so this is specifically for married couples, in the middle of the night, the person whose love funk is quality time feels you don't love them enough. But you too, when you're coming back from work, you've actually bought a 18 karat gold watch. You've given it to them, and you are expecting that tonight we'll go to Zion, and that she will appreciate me because your love language is receiving gifts. She will appreciate me with a wild ride to Zion, and she's like, I'm tired. I'm so stressed. And you're like, I just dashed out $800 to buy you a watch. And the only thing you can do for me is you are tired, you are stressed. The truth is, you dashed it out, but they don't feel loved by an 18 karat gold watch. They feel loved by the 20-minute undivided attention you give to them. If you don't understand this and you are married to a woman who desires quality attention, or you are dating a person who desires quality attention, or you are a single person looking forward to enter into a relationship and your love language is quality time, you will always feel unloved.
And Mary, I'll just chime in by saying that it appears difficult a lot. Mostly, maybe I can talk from the man side. To give our undivided attention seems to be a very big deal for many people. But let me spell out to all our audience that everything can be learned. You can
Yeah.
learn how to dedicate attention that is not divided. You can learn
Mm.
it. You don't say you are too demanding. I'm with you. What else do you want? No, you should learn it. So one of the things we started practicing couple of I think last year was we had a time out where we set half a day, and that's worked with our schedule. Where during that time, the children were at school, and Mary and I will go out. And the idea was that that time was for her, because quality time was is her love language. So that time was, I called it Mary's date time. And I had set an alarm once it was Wednesday from morning 9 a.m. to 12 noon. I would ask, so what do you want us to do today? And maybe that day she wanted to go out. We drive out, sit down. What do you want to talk about? We just talk. I felt at the point, I felt that I have work to do. And I'm sitting here. What am I doing with my time? I have work, emails to answer, and I'm doing here, listening to you, talking back, and so on. But the returns of that little investment is is far more than the invest what you are putting in. So I want to encourage everybody here. If you know your spouse or your person, the person you're dating, have quality time as their love language, learn and learn how to listen. Learn how to give the person undivided attention. It works both ways for guys, for ladies. There are guys who have quality time as their love language. There are ladies equally like that. So just learn. Don't say, I can't waste my time. No, if you really care about developing that relationship, learn how to listen. And most guys, we find it difficult to listen, and the ladies can easily tell when you are not listening, or your wives can easily tell, how was school today or something, and you say, mm, 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 and they know you are not listening. They know. So learn it. Listen by looking. Listen by sometimes talk back what she said. Did you say ABC? You are telling her you are actively listening. So the everybody should learn. That's the point I wanted to make. Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Michael. Yeah, yeah. And this is very, very straight to the point. For people with quality time as their love language, saying I love you is comparable to you putting down your phone and having a meaningful conversation with him or her. So no matter how much, even if you say, "Oh, I love you, I love you," they don't feel it until they feel like you are committed to spending quality time. Of course, as Michael said, it can be just a fragment of your day. When you come back from work after you've had dinner, taking your bath, you can just dedicate 20 minutes just to spend with them, and it will bring ripple effects. It will bring ripple effect. This works for married couples. This works for those who are dating. This works for those who are single. If you know that quality time is your love language, it helps you and your partner make your life such a way that you get to spend quality time. And as I'm talking about this, know that as you speak the love language of quality time, it's possible that your partner might not be speaking quality time. Your partner might be speaking words of affirmation or something else that we are yet to discuss. So you are receiving quality time. You are not giving quality time if you don't speak quality. You are giving a different love altogether. So let's move on to the next one on my slide. And that
Mary,
is okay.
just before you move on to this, the next one, I want to give out a nugget, something that I practice, which might be useful for people. Often in the morning when I wake up to start my day, I would list the things I would be doing that day. And I intentionally write down what part of my day I'm going to be spending with Mary. So that's a way to keep me um, intentional. So from 10 to 10 to 1, I'm teaching. From 1 to 2, I'm doing this. From, let's say, 12 to 12:15 is my break time. I'll give her a call. Right? So make it a part, build it into your day, your daily schedule. Okay.
Thank you so much, Michael. Yes. So I'll move to the next one, which is receiving gift. And I must use a disclaimer. This is not Receiving gift as a love language is different from, of course, excuse my words, someone who is greedy for things. Receiving gift as a love language is different from someone who is extravaganza, is
mm,
greedy for things. They all that they want is to drain you dry. And
mm,
unfortunately as this sound, because I'm a lady, this other part of this actually works with most women who believe that love is equated with money. How can they be love without money, love without gift? So as long as you're showering her with gift money, no, this is very different. So let me clarify, this is not materialism. If you are dating someone and the person is materialistic, run away, because
mm,
you are going to use all your salary to satisfy their craving. This is about being thoughtful. This is about being thoughtful. This is about meaningful gifts that carries big emotional weight. There are some ladies, as even if you buy them flowers, they will just what do I need flower for? If you want to buy me something, didn't you pass by Zara? Didn't you pass by which other shop can I? Didn't you pass by this Gucci? Didn't you pass by and you didn't you see the latest trend? That's what I don't like flowers. Flowers will die. No. Such a person is materialistic. They don't speak a love language that is receiving gifts. So now that I've been able to explain what it is not, let me explain what it is. So there are people that, in order for them to feel loved, they need tangible symbols of love. These tangible symbols don't need to be expensive. They could be as cheap as like a $1 box of chocolate you picked up at the grocery store and giving to them that, I was thinking about you. So when I was leaving the grocery store, I know you love chocolate. This person will appreciate it so much. And we need to understand that when we marry, the wedding bands that we wear are lasting symbols of the gift we give to each other. Of course, when people marry for a couple of years, they might want to upgrade their bands, they might want to get new bands. So that itself, because wedding bands are not cheap. No, they are not. Even if you say, oh, I don't have money, so I want to buy the very affordable ones. Even the very affordable ones are not cheap. So if you get married or somebody proposes to you, I know people propose, then they give proposal rings. They call it engagement rings. In some contests in West Africa, in Ghana, engagement actually refers to the traditional marriage itself, which I've found it very hard to understand. So wedding rings are lasting symbols. Like, I've given you a gift and you have given me a gift. That's how we exchange it. You don't wear your ring, he doesn't wear his ring. He gives you a ring and you give him a ring. Please, so these are lasting symbols of love. Now, for a person whose love language is receiving it could be as minute as handwritten notes. So you make a note for this person and you write on it, I was thinking about you and I just want to say I love you. That is enough for them. Their day is made, their story changes. If they woke up at the wrong side of the bed, their minds are adjusted because you've shown them that you love them. So these receiving gifts could be very small, very minute, very affordable, or probably say very cheap, yet makes a lot of impact in their life. These are not about money. These people are not talking about extravagance. They are young ladies. I'm told that now the love language people speak is money. So as long as you give them money, they love you. As long as you take them to the most plush and exquisite restaurant, they love you. As long as you are pushing on them money, 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 they love you. But whenever you don't have, they love you less. No, no, that's materialism. That is extravaganza. That is not receiving gifts. So a person who have love language as receiving gifts, usually if you go to their kitchen, they have different vases for different flowers. They have different notes they have sticked on their fridges, sticked on their walls. They have keepsakes all over. So they'll be like, oh, this necklace, it was given to me by my husband. And if you don't take it, they wear that necklace each day for the rest of their lives. That is a person whose language is receiving gifts. And for such a person, no matter how much quality time you spend with them, you might want to write a short note to just let them know you love them. No matter how much words of affirmation you use for them, without giving them a tangible thing, their love tank might still be empty. Okay, now I'll move on to the next one because we hope to have a complete episode today for the first time. So the next love language I want to talk about is act of service. Act of service. An act of service is doing things you know that your partner will appreciate. Doing things you know that your partner will appreciate, like cooking dinner, cleaning up, running errands, is act of service. So when you lighten your partner's load, for them, it feels like I care about you. When you lighten their loads, it feels like I love you. For example, they want you to check their emails for them, and you'll be like, that's your email. Why should I be checking for them? But for them, act of service goes beyond just hugging them. It goes beyond just quality time. It goes beyond just giving them gifts. It is expressed by doing things for them. So they put their shoes elsewhere, and you let them know, oh, I've put your shoe at the right place. They just need some clothes to wear. So, oh, I've made a selection of clothes for you to wear today. I think it will feel good on you. For them, actions speak louder than words. So don't go around telling everybody actions speak louder than words. There are some people words speak louder than action. That is those who want words of affirmation. And for that, there are some people with which actions speak louder than words. That is those who believe in acts of service. The other side of this is that if a person speaks a love language that is act of service, they might end up making their wives and their husbands errand men and errand girls, errand women. Can you pay this for me? Can you do that for me? Can you fix that for me? Can you? You need to understand that that might not be their love language, and they will feel like you worry a lot when you sit down. Your shoe is just here. You want me to pick for you? Ah, you this man. Why should I respond your email? See, oh, this you could have done on your own. Now you want me to do this? No, no, no. So a woman or a man who don't speak act of service as a love language and doesn't understand that your love language is act of service feels intimidated, feels like you send a lot. You are always making people do the things you can easily do. This is a funny one. I remember when I was little, sometimes I'm like, this my dad could have easily picked this, but I believe I might not be fully right that his love language could be act of service. He's always sending people on errands. He's always asking that something should be done because that is how probably it could be the opposite for another person. For such a person, request builds and we need to understand that request builds intimacy, demands breaks intimacy. For acts of service, they are always making requests. So if your love language is act of service, know the difference between requests and demands. When we spoke about the words of affirmation, I explained this. If it feels like you are making demands, the other person feels drains that, oh, you are always making demands. Make requests. Can you please do this for me? Is it possible for you to get me a cup of water? I'm sorry, I'm quite engaged. Can you please respond to this email for me? Let them know that I'm busy and I'll respond to you quickly. Acts of service, if well attended to, can make another person feel loved. So in the Bible, Jesus shows us an example of service, and he talks about servant leadership. Jesus goes down, washes the feet of his disciple. Jesus highlights this to show us that leadership is by service. There are people whose only way of expressing love is to receive acts of service, and as such, they are likely to offer their service. There are people who are always running errands for people because they feel like the other people might feel loved. It's possible that those you even run errands for do not feel love. They don't just they just see it as one of a kind. Oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that, because they themselves operate in that love. And the truth is, the service is given freely. The service it's not given with a pinch of salt or that you have to pay back. So this is also one thing we need to understand when it comes to act of service. Okay, so I'll move on to the next love language. And I'm speaking about this one with a pinch of salt. The next love language I want to talk about is physical touch. That there are some people that nothing communicates love deeply than a hug, holding hands, sitting close, maybe kissing and all that. And I'm talking about this with a pinch of salt because if you are not married and physical touch is your love language, you will need all the graces in heaven to hold yourself, because we are talking to you from the perspective of the Bible, that there are certain things you don't do if you are dating. Oh, her physical love language is physical touch. You've not married her. Her parents don't even know you are dating, and every time you meet him or her, you do what you know how best to do because they will feel happy. They will feel like, please, that is not godly. We don't support it in any way. Physical touch as a love language is good to know, but you need to, if that's the love language you speak, even if you are married, you will need how to keep yourself. If not, you will be overboard. For those whose love language is physical touch, touch communicates love, and that is why unfortunately those who don't understand this misuse this such that they might be married but another person is giving them physical touch. Please, the married bed should be undefiled. If you are dating, don't defile yourself. If you are single, don't say my love language is physical touch, I'm looking for somebody to touch me. No. Physical touch as a love language is great. For those whose love language is physical touch, when they are married, it doesn't always have to be intimacy. It's about everyday touches that reassures and connects. It's about that hug you give while when you come back from work. It's like, oh hi, how was your day? That kiss you give. And for some, it is the deepest form of connection. Physical touch is not a license for fornication. Physical touch is not a license for adultery. Physical touch is not a license to do things you are not authorized to do. Michael, do you want to add something to this, please?
Yeah, I think when emotions are high, people tend to interpret touch as sensual, anything that's it's, but touch as a love language can be as simple as holding hands while going to the grocery shop. And touch in itself, I think we need to think of touch and detach it from
Romance.
romance. Yes, let's not interpret touch as romance. So, for instance, And the Bible teaches how serious a touch can be. It reminds me of the story of the woman who was bleeding for 12 years. And she told herself that if I can only touch the hem of his garment. And Jesus recognizes it and says, somebody touch me. I know this because power left me. Of course, that wasn't just a natural touch, that was a touch of faith, right? But there's a whole doctrine on the laying on of hands, a touch that transmits the power of God through from one person to the other. So, what we are saying is that for some people, let's say they are going through a difficult time, and just patting them at the back and say, look, I'm going to bear you up in prayer alone means a lot to them. So do well not to think of touch, or even for the married ones. If your spouse is love language is touch, it might not mean going to bed with a person. It's just touch, not romance. So let's try to separate that so that as singles we don't get into sin in the name of satisfying the person I'm dating with touch. And then as married people, we don't have confusion when your partner is expecting just a touch and you are thinking, oh, touch, she means romance. And so, right. So
Yeah.
that can be very, let's get it straight. Touch is
Mm.
touch, not romance.
Yes, touch is touch, not romance. That's a very powerful one, Michael. Thank you so much. And before I answer the question in the chat, just to assure us that this touch focuses on everyday touch, not intimacy. Their love language might be physical touch, but they don't desire to be intimate. Please. Yes. So we've gone through the five love language. There are
And
questions I will want
Mary,
to.
I'll just chime in with the last statement you made. Their love language might be physical touch, not intimate. Now, here's an example of how the misunderstanding of that can bring conflict in a married home. So, um, this man comes from work and the wife welcomes him nicely with a hug and maybe a kiss. And the man is thinking, oh, okay, tonight we'll be back.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
And then that night comes and the woman say, I'm so tired. And he's thinking, you started it, right? So that's and situations like this can leave both people hurt.
Hmm.
So let's make sure we get things right. If we are unsure, there's nothing wrong with openly asking what's going on. What do you mean? Yes. Okay. I just wanted to
Okay.
throw light on that, how it could bring conflict in a home.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's so we have five love languages that I just went through. We spoke about words of affirmation, we've spoken about quality time, we've spoken about receiving gifts, we've spoken about acts of service, we've spoken about physical touch. Now there is a question here. Can people's love language be like they always want to offer help to their partners? Yes, that's the act of service. If a person speak a love language that makes them want to offer help, it means okay, that is their love language, which means that such a person's love tank is also filled up when the other person offer help to them. So yes, a person whose love language is act of service is one who is always trying to offer help, offer service, and as such, they also expect that they receive um help and service in addition to that. We
Mm.
will be ending very soon, but before we end, it's important that you discover your love language. It's very, very, very important. Each person has a primary love language. At the beginning, I mentioned that it's possible that you are bilingual, but you can have a primary, the one that excites you the most. You need to have an understanding. If you are married, one of the clues for you to find out is, what does your partner complain or ask for the most? What that, even if you are dating, this is something you can do. What one of the complaints could be that every time I come back from work, she'll be like, the house is unkept, I've been very busy, the laundry is even undone. Maybe she just wants you to help. She just need your help, act of service. She just wants you to help fixing the place, doing the laundry. So doing the laundry for her could mean as much as, I love you from earth to moon. What does your partner complain about? Are they always complaining? Ah, when I'm talking to you, you are always looking on your phone. What do they complain about? Do they always, when you sit by them, do they always want to hold your hands? Or, like, when you give them little things, how much do they express their appreciation? Discovering your love language helps build connections, intimacy, and help grow love relationships. So you need to discover, and it's important that if you can have a paper or a list and ask yourself sample question. What makes me feel loved? What are the things that makes me feel sad when others don't do to me? What's like, asking yourself, and the answers to those questions will help you understand what your primary love language is. It's possible that your primary love language is quality time and you also speak a secondary love language. Maybe your secondary love language is maybe physical touch, your secondary love language is receiving gifts. There are others who are like balanced bilinguals, so they speak both love languages the same. So whether you do one or the other, they feel loved. So get to know. You see, marriage is beautiful, but it takes work. You just don't go marry and sit down. Okay, you figure things out. No, just don't figure things out. Be intentional. Be intentional to know your partner's love language, and be intentional that your partner also know your love language, so that if you are speaking Greek to him, he will respond with Greek. If you are speaking French to him, she will respond with French. Then you swap. It's because 90%, or if not more than that, we marry people who don't speak our love languages, because we have different temperaments, we have different upbringing. And as I said, these love languages could be triggered by the person's background. So somebody who lacked love as a child might grow up looking for words of affirmation because they were always discouraged. Somebody who didn't have the hug of a parent, who always gets pushed around, who never felt loved or never felt the sense of my parents cuddling me, might have physical touch as their love language. So it's important we communicate to people we love in a language they do understand. Now, why does it matter? Speaking the right love language fills our different emotional tanks. At the beginning, I said if you speak Spanish and I don't speak Spanish, we might not be on the same conversational platform. So if you want to feel my emotional tank, you need to know the love language I speak. If I want to feel Michael's emotional tank, I need to understand the love language I feel. The stresses of marriage can be very difficult when couples don't understand each other's love language. Now, it also matters because it avoids miscommunication. Because you are saying that I need a hug, he's saying that he wants us to go to bed. No, you need to understand. It also builds connection. They just want your time, your quality time. And you are saying that, oh, I'm just sitting there, I want to watch soccer while I spend time with them. They want you to give them attention, not just to watch soccer. There's a comment here, let me just read it out. It says, when couples understand each other and do this on regular basis, there is minimal chances of one misunderstanding hugs and simple kisses for desires of intimacy. That is excellent, Auntie Ari. That is excellent. That is
Mm.
excellent too. If you understand that your spouse's love language is physical touch, you don't overrate physical touch for intimacy. That is excellent. Thank you so much for this powerful comment. Please, we are a few minutes be over our time. I'm wrapping up today. We will not have a part two of this episode. We are just having it all in all at once. So it matters. It matters that you speak. You see, some of us grew up in neighborhoods where couples were fighting all the time. Because when our parents were growing up, nobody taught them about love languages. So your father might be speaking words, acts of service. Your mother might be speaking words of affirmation, and they don't seem to understand each other. So every day there is conflict. But you look about it, so this couple, they seem to match up. Is because our traditional counseling doesn't engage in some of these things. They teach basic things that they think will make a home stand. But actually, to build a home that blossom, a home that is well tended, you need these things as well. It's important to submit to your husband, and it's important to love your husband. How can you love someone deeply when they don't speak your love language? And how can you submit to someone deeply when they don't speak your love language? I believe that traditional counseling should extend beyond the tentacles of just love and submission. It should encompass all the things we need to bring a holistic marriage home. And that is why it's important that if you desire to marry, you should seek for a mentor, somebody whose marriage is not a covering up in the public and a cry out at home. You need somebody who has a total development and growth in their marriage. There's also a comment here by El Papa said there is also the temptation of offering our partners our love language rather than offering them their love language. Thank you so much, El Papa.
Mm,
That was
mm,
what I established from the beginning.
mm,
You offer what they desire and they give you what you desire. It's an exchange. You don't offer them your love language. No, you offer them their love language and they give to you your love language. That is how God, or that is how our systems are biologically tended to be.
mm.
So don't buy them a Rolls Royce when all that they need is words of affirmation. If you need gifts, it doesn't mean they also need gifts. They need something else. Thank you so much, El Papa. It's very, very important. And as
I would
we,
chime in,
okay,
Mary, if it's okay to chime in. So, that is a strong point that I think we should always keep ourselves reminded that it's not your language you want to speak to her.
mm,
It is her language you want to learn and speak to her in her language. So there is a learning curve.
yeah.
Always remembering that the way I feel loved is not how she will feel loved when I communicate. So that's where a lot of miscommunication comes in and problems. I'm doing all these things for her, she doesn't appreciate it. Why is she so ungrateful? Why? But you might just be speaking your language to her, hoping that she will appreciate it. It doesn't work that way. So thank you for reiterating that for us again.
Yeah. And before we give the practical steps, somebody said, my mom used to complain that my dad spent time with his male friends than her. I've caught my mom. Her love language is quality time. And it's very, very, so as we talk about some of these things, you see, it is coming up. You are beginning to see that connection. Now, practical steps. How can we talk about love language without giving practical steps? Now, we are giving these practical steps with the understanding and the mentality that you know your love language, you know their love language, and you are giving exchange. They are giving you what you speak, you are giving them what they speak. Because if you give them what you need, it doesn't really build up. So one, if your partner's love language is words of affirmation, be very intentional about giving compliment. Appreciate them. Let them hear so much. Compliment them. Now, on the other hand, if their love language is quality time, at least 20 minutes a day, give them quality attention, chat with them, call them in the middle of work. It's lunchtime, I'm just checking up on you. 20 minutes a day is enough to spark the fires and to arouse the butterflies that are dying in your home to be alive. If their love language is receiving gifts, and I explained, receiving gifts is different from materialism. A $1 chocolate bar from Dollarama will change the whole thing. A $5 or $2 flower, $3 flower will make them feel so much love. Just give the smallest gift and express it with love. If their language is act of service, do a chore. Always give a helping hand. Oh, do I help you with the dishes? Let me do the laundry for you. Oh, let me pack your shoe to the right place. Let me do something that you need me to do for you. Okay, so do a chore. If the person's love language is physical touch, that extra hug a day will make a lot of difference. And as we wrap up, we just want you to know that love is a choice, it's not a feeling. Oh, no, it is a choice you have to make all the time. And speaking your partner's love language results in lasting love. Speaking your partner's love language results in lasting love. We will end here. If you have any question, comment, contribution, you might want to put it in the chat. And if you don't have any question, comment too. This is where we'll end our special episode on love language. If this stream has been helpful, I suggest that you share it with your friends and loved ones. God bless you to El Papa. Thank you everyone for joining this stream. Yeah, I want you to share it with friends and loved ones who might find this needful. So officially, yes, today we've concluded our special episode on love languages. Share it with friends, loved ones, make somebody listen to this again. And you yourself, if you are going out, dating, married, you might want to listen to this video with your partner. I believe that things will be turned around. Amen. Okay. So we will end here. One more time, thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast. My name is Mary Agrona, and as always, I'm here with Michael Agrona. This podcast streams every Saturday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you are in the Mountain Time, that is 9 o'clock. If you are in Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world, you might want to check the different time zones. We are always live, and we take your questions live and we respond to them live. Thank you so much for joining. Before we end, we always want to speak onto your life. So Lord, I pray for everybody who joined us today, and for those who watch this stream later, continue to bless them, continue to keep them. If their love is lacking the right language at this time, as they've watched this stream or as they will watch this stream, help them to speak the right love language to their partners, and help them to also receive the right love language. Make them intentional partners who make a choice to love each other intentionally. I pray that their homes are blessed, their businesses are blessed as they enter the week. May goodness and mercies follow them, cause them to prosper, cause them to excel, in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Have yourself a blessed week, and we look forward to seeing you again on Saturday on the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast. God bless you. Take care.
When the rush of life feels louder than our vows, and weeds of worry try to take the ground, you, Lord, teach our hearts to slow, to tend, not tear, to speak with gentle truth and listen in repair. When storms roll in and nights run long, we're rooted in your faithful love, still strong. Plant the seed, tend the soil, let the Spirit be the rain. In the beautiful marriage garden, you are mending every pain. With a chord of three unbroken, we will stand and sing. Love grows wild and holy in the shelter of the King. For the single heart that's learned how to wait, for the bride and groom with calendars and faith, for the decades deep who water vows with grace. No seasons ever wasted in your cultivated place. teach us tools to heal, to reconcile and forgive, to guard our words with wisdom and choose peace is how we live. Plant the seed, tend the soil, let the Spirit be the rain. In the beautiful marriage garden, you are mending every pain. With a cord of 3 unbroken, we will stand and sing. Love grows wild and holy in the shelter of the King. We'll prune our pride, lift truth to light, and pray through every night. We'll learn to fight for us, not me, and keep our hearts contrite. Speak life, listen slow, let your word be where we go. Unity with purpose, hand in hand we grow. Plant the seed, tend the soil, Spirit be our rain. Make our covenant a mirror of your kindness once again. With a cord of 3 unbroken, we belong to you. Beautiful marriage garden, blossoming in truth. Let it grow, in your love we bloom again.